proportion of the population of the planet do you think is real human 100%?
Another great question. Not least because, you know, my thoughts have been going this way for a while. I think there's a very significant, I can't put a figure on it, but a very, very significant number of people that we call humans are actually biological robots. And it's interesting when you look at where within our desperately limited science, within the public arena that we can see, when you see how far they're now going with robotics. I mean, I saw one the other day, somebody sent me, and you knew it was a robot, but you sure as heck could see where it was going, in terms of it not being a million miles in terms of advancement from you not realizing it's a robot. And then you go beyond the public arena and you go into the underground bases and the secret projects, which are light years ahead of the technological development within the public arena. And then you go beyond that into the realms of these entities that understand reality better than we do because they put us in a box smaller than them in terms of that. And you start to appreciate, especially when you're looking at, you know, holographic inserts and stuff like that, where you can see that it is very possible at their level of knowledge to create apparent human beings that are just biological robots, biological computers. But you know, when you think of robots, oh, I am a robot or a computer, you know, no, that's just a word to give the theme of what I'm talking about. We're talking about dramatic advances on that. I mean, if the human body, and I suggest it is a human body mind, the lower mind is a biological computer, then which is animated by consciousness, then why can't you have a biological computer that is animated by some other force, you know, like some program? And like I've said earlier in this chat, that I say this is a software program running through all human bodies, and I do feel that there are a very significant number of people in this world that we call human that are not attached to consciousness, shall we say. They are purely biological software playing through, and not something that we would call human in our perception of human.
Can we distinguish them from real human? Is there any sign?
Well, I think when you are connected to any form of consciousness, then especially any expanding consciousness, then there's a sparkle in the eye. There's life. You feel life coming off people. And you know, I've noticed over the years that some people have what we call good vibes, some people have what we call bad vibes or negative vibes, but there are a certain group that have no vibes. It's like they're dead. It's like a dead zone, and that could quite possibly be it. But see, the thing is that one of the greatest forms of mass control is to suppress their sense of what is possible. This is really so important. If you have this view of what's possible, then you have this spectrum of possibility to explain, look at, research what's happening in the world and how it's happening and what's being done to make it happen. If you are given this and you accept it, this amount of perception of what is possible, then when some people come along and say this is happening and this is happening, you're going, that's impossible, you can't do that, it's impossible. No, you've been led to believe it's not possible. And people dismiss things, and now suddenly, to explain what's happening in the world and how it's being made to happen, you now have that to explain it. And that's why there are so many mysteries in the world, because there's very little you can explain about the wider happenings in the world from that perception of what's possible. But once you do that, now you can see not only what's happening, you can see how it's being made to happen. And so they work very, very hard on suppressing the human perception of what's possible. And that's why you see, I mean, a number of people that have laughed in my face at things that are provable fact in terms of what's technically logically possible. But because they don't know that, they laugh at it, even though you can say, look at it, there it is, it's happening. And suppression of the possible is very, very fundamental to the control. And this is where education comes in. This is why they control the education system, and it's not an education system, it's a programming machine, a programming and a suppression of perception machine. That's what it is, and that's why they do it. I mean, the suppression of the sense of the possible happens from the earliest age when you enter the education system.